You know how when you're scared of something, you tend to either run away from it or you put in that extra effort to see that you conquer it and you solve that problem. You give it 150%, you give it 250%, if there's anything like that, right? Everything that we have gone through yesterday, everything that we have gone through previously in life is actually a preparation for your tomorrow. So, for instance, you've gone through a hurtful experience, probably a divorce, or you've gone through an abusive situation, or you've been victimized or raped, or something like that, and we decide to dwell in our past. The whole essence of going through that season, the whole experience that we have gained through that season, we'll just be throwing it out into the trash. And hello there, this is Let's Talk with Chisom. Today we'll be talking about tips that will help you stay fired up and energized through this life's journey. Yeah, if this is your first time on my channel, this is Let's Talk with Chisom. We basically talk about life-related issues, contemporary issues, but we look at it from a Christian perspective. The essence of this channel is to inspire and to encourage youth, one person at a time. Yeah, so if you like this video, give us a thumbs up and click the subscribe button if you haven't. Please click the subscribe button so you know when we upload new videos. Okay, yeah, so let's go straight to the topic of today. You know how when you're scared of something, you tend to either run away from it or you put in that extra effort to see that you conquer it and you solve that problem. You give it 150%, you give it 250%, if there's anything like that, right? I happen to fall in that category of people, and sometimes it can really go bad, in the sense that you can give that extra energy and that your extra energy is what actually spoils the whole thing. Yeah, that's what happened to me when I was going for my youth service. So I went for my compulsory NYSC service. People told me, Chisom, endurance trek. Camp is fun, no, but endurance trek, that's where they were aligned. So I prepared. I was ready for it. I said I was going to beat this thing. So I bought a backpack. Actually, I bought a backpack that was exactly the same color with the boots, that light brown color. So I bought a light brown colored backpack. I was excited about the trek, and I was like, this thing, I must give it my 100%. I must give my 150% so I can beat it, right? So the day of the endurance trek came. And that day, I loaded my bag with water, with energy drinks, with snacks, everything to keep my energy up, right? I took an extra shoe, I was ready, anything that would stand in my way, So I kind of took extra precaution, right? Because I wanted to beat this. I wanted to get to the finish line. I didn't want to stop on the way and be carried back with ambulance, right? So I took that extra precaution. As we began the endurance trek, we never even scratched the whole journey. I noticed that my backpack began to, slow me down. It was making me get exhausted really fast. And I was like, hey, Jesus, what am I going to do? So at that point, I decided to start, dispensing everything inside the bag. I gave out my drinks, I gave out my snacks, I gave out virtually everything, but of course, I couldn't give out my shoe. So at that point, a fees didn't even enter my head at all. I was not even thinking about the shakara and the guide I planned to do with my machine bag and my machine shoe, right? So I gave the bag to somebody. Because I eventually found out that midway into our trekking, we are going to stop by in a place that is a Mami market, that is like a makeshift market, so that we could buy things and drinks and, unwind and rest a little before we continue the remaining journey. Yeah, but I didn't hear that part too, because if I had heard it, I would not buy that backpack. Like, I wouldn't have taken that route at all. So I ended up giving the bag to somebody to carry for me. But I learned a vital lesson from that whole incident. I learned that life is a marathon, not a sprint. So it's very important that we travel light. That day I was not traveling light. I had a lot of baggage. And you don't blame me. It was as a result of what I heard, right? I'd heard a lot of stories, and sometimes the things we go through, we're actually victims of these circumstances. We never plan to find ourselves in that kind of situation. Like when I became a single mom, I never planned to become a single mom, but I found myself in that situation. So what do? There's a tendency to become bitter. There's a tendency to become angry. There's anxiety. There's worry. There's grief. There's malice. There's strife. There are so many emotions. There are so many baggages I can choose to carry along with me on this journey. But just like my backpack, they're actually extra luggage that don't add any value to me whatsoever. Because the backpack did not add any value to me at all. I ended up giving the backpack to somebody to carry for me to the end of the journey. Yeah, that was what happened. So sometimes we carry a lot of baggages. And the annoying part is that sometimes we are just victims of these circumstances. And then we stay in that psychological prison for a very long time. We have a lot of reasons to justify it. Like, I didn't ask to be this. Why was, if for someone that was abused, the person like, why was I raped? Is it my fault? Am I the one that caused it? Probably I seduced the person. There are so many things that can be going on in our head. But I can assure you that those negative emotions, they don't add any value to us whatsoever. Well, as a matter of fact, medically speaking, each of these emotions I just mentioned actually has an effect on different organs of our body. So it has a negative effect on our health as well, not only on our psychology, it also has a negative effect on our health. So these are just baggage. So what do we do when we find ourselves in this situation that we are carrying so many baggage and it's weighing us down and it's draining our energy, it's making us lose zest, it's making you lose focus and all that? What do you do when you find yourself in this situation? The first thing you need to do is take some time to heal. You need to take some time to heal. Yes, sometimes I feel like I could just snap my finger and snap out of it, but it doesn't work that way. It takes some time to heal. It takes time to heal. Yeah, so what do you do? For some, it might take 1 year. For some people, it might take 2 years. Some people, it might take 3 months. For some people, it might just take a matter of some days. For some people, it might just be some minutes. But whatever it is, just make sure you are not static. Make sure you're moving. Whether you're crawling, whether you're making baby steps, whether you're limping, or whether you're jumping or you're flying, make sure you're making those moves to get the healing you need. Open up yourself. Talk to a counselor, talk to a pastor, go for therapy, talk to a friend. That one really helps me. Talk to somebody. Let the healing happen. Because the longer you stay in that place, the more it eats you up, the more it eats up your energy, the more it dries you up. You just lose zest for life on the whole. Number 2, you need to take a break and catch your breath once in a while so you don't pass out, so you don't break down eventually. I went through a season in my life where I'll just talk to everybody around me and tell them, I need a break. I need a break. I need a break. But eventually that break did not happen because I was employed at the time. So I couldn't take the break I needed. Eventually I fell into depression, and that was another journey for me entirely. So please, when you feel overwhelmed, when you feel exhausted, take a break so that you don't break down completely. It's very important to take a break. People might not really understand what you're saying, but you're the one going through it. You know when you need a break. Take that break. Nobody will call you a superman or a superwoman because you decided not to take a break. Nobody's going to give you an award for being a strong person that endured so much suffering, So please take your time. Take a break when you need it, so you don't break down completely. Nobody's going to give you an award for carrying up everybody's burden at the same time. Nobody's going to give you an award for doing that. So please take care of your mental health. It's very important. It is very, very important. If you don't take care of your mental health now and you break down, guess what? You will still take care of it. But you might be taking care of it in a more complex situation. So when it's just beginning to get to you, please take a break and pay attention to your mental health. Number 3, do not get stuck in your yesterday. Don't get stuck in your yesterday. It's very important that you keep moving. You know what I realized? I learned that everything that we have gone through yesterday, everything that we have gone through previously in life is actually a preparation for your tomorrow. So if, for instance, you've gone through a hurtful experience, probably a divorce, or you've gone through an abusive situation, or you've been victimized or raped or something like that, and we decide to dwell in our past, the whole essence of going through that season, the whole experience that we have gained through that season, we'll just be throwing it out into the trash. And that is a total waste of experience, right? So it's very, very important that we do not get stuck in our yesterday. We need to make that advancement. You need to move from where you are to where you need to be. Yesterday was a preparation for your tomorrow. So don't get trapped in your yesterday. Don't let those baggages, don't let the worries, don't let those negative emotions, don't let them hold you down. You need to let them go and advance. It's a decision you can make to be happy. I know I've gone through tough times, but it's up to me to decide, do I want to wear those things I've been through on my face? Do I want to wear it like a crown over my head and let everybody know that, hey, I've been through this? It's a decision you make. You can either drop those baggages and keep going, because they don't actually add anything to you. They only weigh us down. So the essence of doing this video is to encourage you. If you're battling with negative emotions, the time to drop it is now, because it is draining your energy, it's slowing you down, it's hindering you from getting to your tomorrow. It's like it keeps you in a psychological prison, which you yourself have actually kept yourself in. Yes, it might sound like, how do I even go from here? How do I start it? How do I even heal? How do I get that change I so much desire? For different people, different things. When people ask me, Chisom, how do you do it? Do you do it? And I tell them, I don't do it. I just stay in God's presence. I stay in His presence and He does the healing. You know, when I lost my husband, when I lost my mom, when I've gone through tough times, I basically sit down in His presence and let God do the healing. For some people, you might need to see a therapist, or for some, you might need to see a counselor. For some, you might need to take some antidepressants. You might need to take some things, you know. But basically, for me, what I know that has worked for me is staying in His presence, talking to friends, talking to people that God has put as a guide over my life. You know, it has really, really helped me through the seasons of my life. Thank you so much for watching. If this video has blessed you, please share this video with a loved one, share this video with a friend, share this video with somebody you know is going through a tough time and is not dealing with some baggages that the person needs to drop. Share this video with the person. I believe the video is going to encourage the person. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up and remember to click the subscribe button if you have not. God bless you and see you in my next video. Bye-bye.